Hey everyone, this is Rishi from the Growing Club, and I'm out here again at our demonstration home, the Growing Home. And today I want to take you on a journey, and I want to show you what it took, the process that we went through to create this abundant, rich garden that you see around here today. I grew up in this house, and up until 6 years ago, this garden had not changed one bit. It was the typical suburban home with all of the green grass and the decorative shrubs and a few trees. Nothing really that provided us with anything. In fact, the typical suburban home is a consumptive home. It consumes water, it consumes fertility, it consumes food, it consumes electricity. The typical suburban home requires and depends on all sorts of outside materials and resources, and then creates tons of waste. You throw away your food, you throw away your green waste, you pollute the air, you pollute the water. And that model is really not sustainable. And so 6 years ago, we decided to disrupt that model. We decided to say, hey, we are going to make something that's different. We're going to show people that we can live in a different way, and in a way that actually helps the ecology around us, that creates a beneficial ecosystem that will not only heal us, help us, feed us, but heal and help the world that lives around us and that lives with us. Let me show you what we started out with here. In 2009, our front yard was a green grass. We had a few shrubs on the sides. We had this pomegranate tree above me, and we had some ground cover up on the front of the street. In the backyard, we had a concrete basketball court surrounded by a green grass and a few fruit trees. We didn't really go outside. It was too hot to go outside. There was no space that we could really enjoy, and there was nothing to look at, nothing to do, nothing to eat. And in 2009, after learning about all the problems with industrial food today, the kind of food that we were buying at the grocery store, we decided that we would start a garden at home. We were not doing it to help the environment or to change the world. All we wanted to do was to have something to eat which we knew was healthy for us, which was actually providing nutrition for our bodies rather than filling us with toxins. So we started out in the backyard. We had a grass lawn back there, and we decided we're going to take out about 200 square feet. And I actually hand dug it out. I hand dug out the lawn, square by square, and it took me about 2 weeks. It was pretty back-breaking work. I dug it out, and then I tilled the soil underneath it by hand, and we covered that with some wood chips. Then we bought some compost, some bagged compost from the store, and we laid that over the wood chips. And that was our first vegetable garden. Really simple. And you know, it wasn't the most amazing garden ever, but it worked. And we got our first vegetables. And to our surprise, they were way better than any of the vegetables we'd been buying in the grocery store. They actually tasted like something. We got broccoli that didn't taste like potatoes. We got tomatoes that didn't taste like potatoes. We got eggplant that didn't taste like potatoes. All the vegetables actually tasted like they were different vegetables. And it was amazing. We were so shocked and amazed at how easy it was for us to grow some of our vegetables at home. The next year we discovered a better method of removing our lawn called sheet mulching, and we're gonna make a whole video about that process as well. But I really want you to learn about this because the sheet mulching was way easier than digging the lawn out by hand. Like I said, digging the lawn out by hand, it took me 2 weeks for just a 200 square foot area. With this process of sheet mulching, we removed the rest of the entire yard's lawn, and we mulched over all of our other beds, all of our planting beds, all of our slopes. We did it all in 2 days. And the process of sheet mulching is very simple. We covered the entire lawn with cardboard. In fact, we uncovered the entire landscape with cardboard. And on top of that, we laid down horse stable bedding. And I have a picture here of the truck of stable bedding that we got. This was a 40 cubic yard truck of horse stable bedding, which is wood shavings and horse manure and horse urine. It covered our entire driveway, 4 feet tall. And with a few people, we spread that material over the cardboard, smothering out the grass. And like I said, in 2 days, we removed our entire lawn. And we also added this huge boost of fertility to the soil, and we saw that boost immediately. We saw the trees respond immediately. The fruit trees that we had, they started growing better, they started fruiting more, they required less water. We saw that result as soon as we added that organic matter, that fertility, to the soil. This Jawan tree, a tropical fruit tree from India, was planted here right before we did this sheet mulching process. In fact, it was in the ground for about 2 years, and in that 2 years it had grown about 2 feet. After we did the sheet mulching, this tree exploded. It has grown, now it's 40 feet tall, and it produces thousands and thousands of jamun fruit every year. And this is the same response we've seen in all of our fruit trees. Our pomegranate tree used to produce just 50 pomegranates a year. Now it produces 200 pounds of pomegranates a year. Our persimmon tree used to fruit only, again, 50, 60 fruits a year. Now it fruits 200 pounds of persimmons a year. The type of abundance that we're seeing has been so amazing because we've been focused on building up the soil and creating this ecological system which supports all the life that lives within it. In a garden, everything is there for a reason, and we can't go around spraying and killing everything that we want to kill. Every creature has a purpose, and every creature has a place. And so I wanted to show you this leaf from one of the squash plants we're growing here. And on this leaf you see that there are all of these aphids. But on this leaf you also see that there are ladybugs, that there are ladybug larvae, there are aphids that have been parasitized by parasitic wasps. And so these aphids are part of the ecosystem, they're part of the food web, and they are providing food for our beneficial insects. They have a purpose. They need to be here. I can't go around spraying and killing all of them. And just like that, our weeds need to be here. Our other pest insects need to be here. They're all part of this balanced ecosystem. And we can't be the ones to decide who stays and who goes. The ecosystem will decide. Above all else, when you're starting a garden, what you need is patience. Soil like this does not build itself overnight. Soil like this doesn't even build itself in a year. This takes time, and it takes understanding, and you need to know what you're doing. And so it's really important. Don't rush into it. Take your time. Read a lot of books. Watch videos. This is a process, and it's not going to happen overnight, and you can't buy it. Remember, starting a garden is not rocket science. People have been growing their own food for thousands of years, and you can too. So just start in the beginning. Get rid of your lawn, because an ecosystem cannot develop in a lawn. Then start working on building up the soil, because the soil is that foundation layer that everything else builds upon. And then as that ecosystem is developing, be careful and don't go around killing all the bugs and the weeds, because those are all parts of that foundation too. The bugs are an important part of the ecosystem, and you have to accept them and allow them to come into balance. As you're watching that ecosystem develop, this is your time to start to study and learn. Watch some videos, read some books, get a little bit more knowledge so that you can apply yourself in the garden in a beneficial way. Most people are pests in their garden. They destroy and kill. You have to be a gardener. You have to be a beneficial part of your garden. And then all you need is patience. It does take time for gardens to develop. It takes time for soil to grow. It takes time for trees to grow. It takes time for an ecosystem to develop. So it's a very simple process. You just have to wait and watch for it to happen. A good gardener is nature's assistant. A good gardener observes, sees where nature's going, what direction is she taking, and then just puts a little push in that direction. You observe and see what's happening. Where can I insert myself to move this process along faster? And that's what a gardener does, and that's who a gardener is. I hope this video helps you start off on your gardening journey. Remember, it's not scary. This is a beautiful journey to start on. And if you need help, we're here for you. Watch our videos, join our club, and that way you can become part of our community, which is trying to spread these ideas and support us in making more videos like these. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please subscribe to our newsletter at thegrowingclub.com and subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Happy gardening!